What do you mean the clotting risk were discovered?
I have no concern about the AstraZeneca and specifically the blood clot issue that's been emerged in Europe.
Internationally, there had been some cases.
Germany, France, Spain and Italy are all taking the precautionary measure of suspending use of the vaccine because of fears about possible side effects, including blood clots. The AstraZeneca vaccine has already been suspended in the Netherlands, Ireland, Iceland, Bulgaria, Denmark and Norway.
I believe it was first perhaps discussed in the Senate, maybe it was around March or April of 21, that there had been these cases.
3 more cases of blood clots linked to the AstraZeneca vaccine. That's now 6 cases so far.
I still maintain the prudent course of action would be just a short pause while we get this extra information.
And so ATAGI was changing their recommendations to the public based on that kind of emerging risk profile.
ATAGI, the Australian Technical Advisory Group on Immunisations, has recommended to the federal government that AstraZeneca now only be given to people aged 60 and above.
And again, there was confusion around this because I believe it was ATAGI that first said that the Pfizer is the preferred vaccine for anyone under the age of 60.
The government now relies on the Pfizer vaccines as the preferred jab for under 50s.
But we then had the complexity of Scott Morrison and other officials coming out and saying what would have caused confusion, I believe, to say, well, any vaccine is the right vaccine for you to get.
Do you concede one of the challenges has been your own government's miscommunication around AstraZeneca and whether or not people should take it?
One moment the government was saying, hey, look, you can do this.
AstraZeneca vaccine was shown in clinical trials to be safe and effective.
And the doctors were like, maybe not.
I do not want under 40s to get AstraZeneca.
The next moment,
anyone who's got any concerns at all and would like to know something about the AstraZeneca vaccine should immediately go and talk to their GP about it.
And the mantra was then that they were safe and effective.
It obviously has received a lot of negative press, and it's a vaccine that's proven highly effective and very safe.
Exactly, that's right, yeah. And the best vaccine is the one that's in your arm.
The best vaccine is the one that you can access today.
I think perhaps dismissive of that very real risk of clotting.
More likely to get struck by lightning in Australia than getting a severe side effect from AstraZeneca.
Whereas at that point, ATAGI was saying, look, there is a clotting risk. It's not the AstraZeneca is not the preferred vaccine. And, unfortunately, there were deaths in young people from that clotting risk after that date.
The ATAGI advice talks about a preference for AstraZeneca to be available and made available to those as preferred for those over 60. But the advice does not preclude persons under 60 from getting the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Katie followed the latest advice and had the AstraZeneca vaccine. 10 days later, she was unconscious and in ICU.
Had a call from the senior doctor in ICU and his opening line was, Katie will not survive this.
After 3 days in ICU, the family made the heart-wrenching decision to turn off Katie's life support.
And, I think really we can look back now and say, well, that vaccine certainly, at the point that clotting risk was known in those age groups, it shouldn't have been offered to younger age groups.
That is disgraceful.
I agree.